Booyah! What you got there? The Game. Book Review Fridays, boys and girls. This, oh, this is the second time I've read this book. So, hold on, let me. The air is on. Hold on. 1 second. Sorry about that. This is the second time I've read this book, and it's a great book. The Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists. And now, before you cut it off, because I know you're gonna be like, "Yo, man, I'm in a relationship, I'm married," or some of you women out there like, "I'm a woman, I don't need to learn the game," or listen, it's not about that. What it's really about is self-development, personal improvement, and learning how to connect and establish rapport with people of the opposite sex or even of the same sex. Um, I met the author, Neil Strauss, who wrote the book, and it's based on a true story. There was a society of, or there still is, but there was a house where the top pickup artists would live, and guys would fly in from all over the world and spend thousands of dollars to learn from these few pickup artists on how to on how to pick up women. And Neil Strauss, who's the author, his story is basically he was a nerd, and then he found the pickup society, and then he learned how to pick up women. So it's like a movie, but this is a true story. It's autobiographical. They're actually working on making a movie about it. It's that good. New York Times bestseller. So it's not just any old how to pick up chicks, that kind of thing. So a few things out the book, a few things that I really loved. One, he talks about the way they approach picking up women is a way that you would approach anything, no matter what your profession is, whether you're going to be a painter, writer, teacher, whatever it is you're trying to do. The approach is pretty much the same. He talked about how, like in the beginning, when he was going out to meet women, he would, at the end of the night, review what worked and what didn't work. And he would never blame the women if something went wrong. He took full responsibility for if she got upset or it didn't go out or if it didn't go well. And he took it was a very scientific approach. It's like, what did I say that worked, what turned her on or what attracted her, and what did I say that kind of turned her off or kind of stunted the conversation. And in my previous videos that I posted, I talked about that, and that whether you're trying to lose weight or start a business or whatever it is you're trying to do, at the end of every day, you need to really sit down and look at what worked through your day and what didn't work throughout your day, because sometimes you'll miss stuff trying to keep it all in here. So that's one thing that I thought was very cool. The second thing that's very cool in the book is that he talked about how even though there were all these different pickup artists, everybody had their own method. They had their own style. Some guys were really aggressive. Some guys were really kind of standoffish. Some guys like to do like cocky funny. Um, some guys use neuro linguistic programming, like mind games and like magic, and every guy had their different style. Every guy dressed differently, and that's applicable to your life in that sometimes I think when we're trying to do something or achieve something, we try to imitate what's already out there, and really you have to find your own formula because there's no right or wrong way, because all the different techniques that the guys had, they all work just depending on what the guy's natural inclination was. Some guys were flamboyant. Some guys, just wore a business suit. Some guys just wore a t-shirt. And so you really have to find your own style and your own formula to life. There is no, this is the way it should be done. Whether it's working out, whether it's starting a business, whether it's raising your kids or being married, there is no, like, people reading these magazines on these are the three things that you should do in every man. There are no rules except the ones you make up, and the only way you know what your rules are is if you t take time to assess what's worked for you and what hasn't worked for you. Number three, it's a great story. I mean, he's picking up, he talks about picking up the Playmate of the Year, and he's a short. I met him. He's a short, goofy looking. No offense, Neil, if you read this, but if you Google or YouTube Neil Strauss on Jimmy Fallon, not Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. He's on Jimmy Kimmel, and he picks up Jessica Alba on the show. And when you see the guy, you're gonna be like, really, that's Neil Strauss? So he's the real deal. I even went to a seminar that guy spent like 10 grand to go to, and he invited me for free because when I met him and we talked about the book, he really enjoyed the conversation and felt like I could add some value to the group that he was already talking to. So that was very cool, and I thank you for that, Neil. Learned a couple things. What else about the book that I want to talk about? Uh, he had a line in there where he says, "You have to risk losing her at some point." And that ties into everything in that you work so hard to get something, and at some point you have to almost be willing to walk away from it in order to get it. Like when I was talking about Richard Branson, how he had uh, what was the company? He had Virgin Airways or Airlines or something like that. And there was a point where he went on a balloon ride around the world, right? That if he failed and died, his company would crash. Like everything would just. But he took that huge risk. He risked his company. He risked his family. I mean, he was married with 2 kids, but he felt like if he succeeded though, then he would be able to generate enough cash to keep his businesses going. So he put it all on the table, and at some point, you have to be willing, people, to put it all on the table. What else did I want to talk about? Not knowledge is power. Took the easy road. Oh, last thing I want to say, because I know my last book review was forever, and I apologize for that. Right? Um, he talked about like there was this hot girl that when he was first starting out that he wanted to approach and he didn't because and he realized that he took the easy road instead of pushing himself, right? Like he really could have. He didn't take the chance on losing a girl. He just kind of like walked away, like okay, like it got awkward and he just walked away. When really that was an opportunity for him to take a chance and take a risk. It's like that moment where you feel like you have nothing to lose. Some people either just walk away and say forget it, or they double down and then they just really go for it because they have nothing to lose. So be willing to double down. People, I know I feel like I'm repeating myself, but the game. I mean, look at how beautiful. Look at that cover. It's like Fearless. Remember Fearless with 50 Cent and Robert Greene? It's that leather. Look at that. Is that gold? Oh my God, is that gold? And look at this. I love this. See, it's just like, but like in Fearless, the tassel was the bookmark was black, and this is red. So it looks like a Bible. You know what I mean? This is and for those of you who don't like to read a lot, look inside. There are pictures. Oh, look at that. Right? You love that? Um, this book, man, gets 4.5 stars. The most important lesson out the book is at the end when he's talking about picking up all these beautiful women and sleeping with these different women. He said the best way to get a woman is to have something better to do than to be picking up women. And I thought that was a great way to end the book, man. So go out there, get the book. It's years old. It's like 5 or 6 years old, but it's a great read, even if you're in a relationship, because you need to learn how to regame up your wife. Learn how to talk to her, learn some cool little lines. You know what I'm saying? I'll learn some things. I'm gonna go use with my girlfriend when I get back. Right now, I'm in Anderson, Indiana, performing at Hoosier Casino tonight in like an hour or so. And then I go up to Grand Rapids, man. I'm gonna be all over the place. I'm in like the Holiday Inn Express, right? It's freezing. I'm freezing. I didn't bring enough of anything with me. But thank you guys for following my journey, and I'll see you tomorrow.